Bienvenidos al Finding Monster Right, la programa como de finding monsters. See?
Sí.
All right, we are doing.
Me llamo Adam.
Me llamo Ali.
We.
I am going to be stuck in Spanish mode because I can actually speak a little bit of Spanish, enough to deal with zoo visitors, not enough to feel comfortable about putting it on a resume. I'm still going to do it though. Anyway.
And we're here to talk to you about, what's the Spanish name for the film?
El Laberinto del Fauno.
Otherwise known as Pan's Labyrinth.
And also, Las Chronicalidades de Narnia. Definitely not how you say chronicles. But there's no way I know the word for chronicles in Spanish.
El Leo.
La Bruja.
La Bruja.
Y el Armada.
Armuardo.
La Armada.
La Armada.
No, wait, that means Armada, I'm pretty sure. But it's similar.
It's basically what happens anyway.
Yes.
Pan's Labyrinth and the Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe from Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes.
Both pop culture images that feature fawns.
Yes. And that's why we decided to do Faun Swap, the great Narnia-del Toro Switcheroo.
Da-da-da-da. To quote my brother.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we're taking these two fawn creatures, the satyrs, the men-goat beings of sorts, and swapping their roles in the film and seeing what happens.
Yeah. So, for starters, let's talk about what a fawn is.
Let's do that.
This is not Origin of the Screamies, but I'm going to put the music in anyway. So, a faun is essentially a kind of Roman spirit.
He just roams all over the place.
Yep. That's correct. That's correct. From ancient Rome, half man, half goat. It serves as kind of a guide and stuff. And what I specifically wanted to talk about was the difference between fawns and satyrs.
Okay, because they're, in my vocabulary at least, they're interchangeable.
Yes. So, fawns are more of like, broadly speaking, fawns are more of like the benign, like, oh, they sing, they have pan flutes. I guess Pan, the Greek god, also has one of them.
That's the connection. The faun in Pan's Labyrinth isn't actually named Pan.
Right. Yes.
But because everyone knows what that imagery is, therefore, that's the name they picked.
Right. Which is also why we mixed the name of the setting and the name of the director
in the title
of this episode, yes. So,
pan flutes. They're woodwind instruments.
Yes, they are.
Played by these little short fellas, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
so
I can't believe I don't have my pan flute with me. Thanks. That helps. So, satyrs are... I keep getting awkward about this. Satyrs are deeply sexual beings in mythology.
Versus the regular faun.
The faun is just like, oh, a charming goat. A charming goat boy. And then satyrs are just like, they're always drawn with huge dicks. They're just like, we make fun of Japanese people, right? For being like, oh, the tanuki, the raccoon balls, what the fuck, ayo, what? But then, like, meanwhile, over here in ancient Greece, which according to 300 is the beginnings of America, we got fucking goat dick all over the place. It's fucking crazy. What the fuck?
Got it. So they're a little more exposed sexual beings.
I work so close to New Jersey, and it's starting to wear off on me.
You also work close to a lot of exposed animals.
Yes, at a zoo. Yeah,
so...
I guess it'd be weird if I worked near, like, a bunch of clothed animals. Like, where could I possibly... Build-A-Bear Workshop. Okay, never mind.
You're just running your own show over here. I'm like, ooh, I was gonna say the fucking... right, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, okay, so satyrs are the sexual beings. Fauns are the...
Satyrs are too hot for TV, and by hot, I mean very gross. They're sexual in the way that, like, Watto is sexual. Or, like...
What? Oh, no.
I'm a Toydari, and mind tricks don't work on me, only money.
I hope Waddle doesn't have a huge fan base.
He probably does.
Wattheads.
Wattheads. They write about him on Wattpad. That's why it's called that.
Yeah, it was originally a source for Watto fan fiction,
really,
but expanded into everything else.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the two fauns that we have in these two tales.
Yes.
Film versions in 2006 and 2005.
Right.
Right next to each other.
Which, like, there was something in the air that year. The stars were bright, Fernando. So the faun from... Let's start with Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
Original Spanish title, El Laberinto del Fauno. And
the faun creature is basically the being that leads Ophelia on this whimsical fairy tale journey.
Whimsical is a good word for it.
And leads might not be the best word for it. It's more of a task giver. Yeah.
A quest giver.
And he's very troubled by the quest that he gives. He has a very hot-cold relationship with her.
Hence whimsical. Because it's not whimsical, like, as in, like, a fun cartoon adventure. It's whimsical as in, like, I'll give you another chance. On a whim.
Yeah, it's he basically tells her to find 3 different objects throughout the journey. Mm-hmm. And she has to do odd and terrible tasks, sort of.
Well, they're successive objects.
Mm-hmm.
The first task is to go under a tree, find a frog, feed it some weird shit that'll make it throw up its whole stomach.
And inside is a key.
Inside's a key. You use the key to unlock a little chamber in the
Pale Man.
In the Pale Man's realm,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a Fey, Chthonian sort of thing.
Yep, it's the Pale Man's. If you've known anything about Pan's Labyrinth, you've seen an image of this creature.
Yeah, he looks like Mitch McConnell, except more attractive.
He's got eyes on his hands and a giant feast in front of him.
Yeah.
He's pale,
mm-hmm.
and he's the same dimensions as the satyr, as the faun.
Yes, played by the same actor,
Doug Jones from Kenan and Kel fame.
Right. Yes. Crossover.
I'm curious. Do you know who plays the head waiter here? Patrick.
I really felt like I've seen him before.
You may have seen his performance, his bodily performance. He is the go-to guy for Guillermo del Toro, a horror director. He plays like all the monsters in his movies.
No way.
Yeah, for example, in The Shape of Water. Like the amphibian man in that film.
Oh my god!
That's Doug Jones. That's him.
Why is he in this role?
That's a clip from Adam and Aaron's podcast, Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron.
Yes, I'm so happy we got the plug. In the Pale Man's domain, there's a box that you use the key to get a knife.
Yeah, you get a dagger.
Yeah, and that knife was ultimately used in the third task, which was
to draw blood from an innocent.
And
which was decided not to do.
No.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, not in that exact sense. So, but those are the tasks that the faun gives. Very. I was looking up. It was funny because I saw Google searches for both of these results. Is Mr. Tumnus good or bad? Is the faun from Pan's Labyrinth good or evil? People wonder that same thing. But he's Del Toro's answers. He's a force of nature. He's neither.
Yeah. The faun in Pan's Labyrinth is kind of a nature deity.
In D&D terms, we talk about the Fae all the time.
Yeah.
About how their morality, it's not black and white. It's blue and orange. It's they do weird things and weird paths and trajectories and stuff like that.
Yeah. They just kind of go by vibes.
He seemed very vibe heavy because after basically Ophelia fails the second task, he's like, I'm leaving and I'm going to die and all magic in this world is going to die because of your decisions. And then a couple days later it's like, nah.
Well, it's just dramatically appropriate to show up at that time.
Yeah, right.
Magic is your will being exerted onto the world. And so it can be manipulated with emotion. And so, like, I believe what happens in between then and then is, like, the mother throws away the mandrake root and dies in childbirth. And that is enough of a, like, that brings Ophelia to enough of a low point that the magic is able to come back, that she's able to reach back out there.
And there's some really... I saw some interesting reads of the film when watching it myself about how real is the magic of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a cynical viewing of it. And there's also a malicious one, I thought, of the Faun. Because in the end scene, I guess spoilers for Pan's Labyrinth, even though we talked in great detail about The Shape of Water, a much more recent film.
Yeah, the movie begins with Ophelia bleeding out onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much like these star-crossed lovers fated to die, you know?
Yes, but she is transported into the realm of the underworld with her real parents.
Which sounds bad.
It does,
but she wants to be with her parents, and the underworld is good.
Mm-hmm. And the Faun is there, and he's like, congratulations.
Congratulaciones, princesa.
And he doesn't feel like she's happy, but I think a read of it's that she didn't win. That she's in a bad place.
Well, like, did you want, like, the Faun and all of, like, the underworld armies to come up and start, like, overthrowing Captain Vidal?
No, I guess not.
Have,
I suppose it's as bright of an underworld as you can get.
I think if you want that, you want the Chronicles of Narnia.
Ah, okay.
Dum-ba-dum-bum-bum.
Good transition.
Thank you, I'm good at those.
So Mr. Tumnus is the Faun character of this tale.
Mm-hmm.
And similar to the Faun's relationship with Ophelia, he gets along... he's one of the first images of the book is him and Lucy, right?
Yes, this, it's actually funny. It's actually hilarious. You're gonna fucking...
I'm gonna, like, roll on
You're gonna bust a gut. Anyway, so C.S. Lewis had an image in his mind of a faun carrying some Christmas presents and carrying a parasol, walking past a lamppost in a wintry forest. And that image was kind of the core idea upon which he built the entire story and the entire Narnia franchise around.
Oh.
You okay?
Oh, my gut.
Oh.
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 Oh. I think I just busted something.
Here, quick. Take some Hims Biotin Builder.
Thank you.
So that your gut can be repaired with hair and fingernails.
All right, so let's... but yes, no.
Was that an ad?
Yeah, I think we accidentally added.
Ah, shit. Fuck. Here, take a Tums.
Why
we had Tums right here.
And we're talking about Tumnus. What is...
Oh, god damn it. That's also good.
It's a double bit. That was right.
Ah, shit.
But
it's a good thing I have some antacids, because I think I just burned myself.
It's cool that one image spawned the entire series and idea.
Yeah.
So it's his interactions with this girl, and he has Lucy, and he has technically nefarious intent to begin with, right?
Yes, he sort of does.
He's working for the Ice Queen.
Yes, the White Witch.
Mm-hmm. And her many other names.
Mm-hmm. He is a vassal of the White Witch.
Yes.
He was told that if there were ever any sons of Adam or daughters of Eve, meaning just
human,
Earth humans,
yeah,
that he would bring them to her because they were fated to destroy her.
And he and Lucy actually have a really fun time.
Mm-hmm.
They have tea and pleasantries.
Yeah,
he's played by James McAvoy in the movie,
right? Professor X.
But yeah, which
the bad Professor X,
and he bears
which I only say out of comparison.
And he bears a passing resemblance to me.
I don't see it.
You don't see it in his hair?
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen you without a mustache.
That's a good point. If I had a straggly goatee
cover
like
your
him.
mustache really quick. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, all I'm missing is the big ears.
Mm.
And the sweet pecs.
You know what? This is a good Halloween costume for you.
You're not wrong.
You and Alex can be Lucy and Mr. Tumnus. That's so cute.
I don't know if that's a great couple uniform outfits.
Okay, fair. And I don't think Mr. Tumnus has exactly like a love interest.
I also I can't wait for Halloween. I'm gonna be Lucy from Narnia.
You're right. Okay, that's one of those couples costumes that only works half the time.
No, I could just be Tumnus and wander around wherever we are.
Yeah, that's one of those couples costumes. couple's costumes that does like the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lucy comes back and visits Mr. Tumnus a couple times, just like sits down for tea and all that sort of thing.
And he's like basically confesses to her that I can't bring you to the witch.
Yeah, he can't do it.
Yeah, so he's good deep down.
He's very good.
He's a pure being, although he is punished for his purity later in the story.
Yes.
Where though doesn't the queen turn him into stone?
Yes, that does happen.
No.
She is a big fan of doing that. She picked that up at some point between the magician's nephew and LWW.
She gains powers of petrification that turn him into this poor statue.
Yeah. Yeah, but then he gets healed by, I'm pretty sure, Aslan.
Aslan just rolls around and fixes things.
Yeah, Aslan just rolls around and fixes things, as he kind of does. The prophecy works, everything, blah, 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 works. And then after the Pevensey kids are coronated as kings and queens of Narnia, he becomes kind of an advisor to them.
And becomes like a Jar Jar figure in the latter prequel movies.
In terms of plot, maybe not in terms of...
accidentally proposing that the Senate become an empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the fact that he started out as a supporting character and became an advisor later.
Yeah.
Yes, then dead on Jar Jar. Any other metric? Pretty much no.
The ears, maybe.
Not totally dressed.
The outfit, kinda.
It's just a scarf is his outfit. His outfit is a scarf and some forearm hair glued onto his forearms.
Between him and Jar Jar, you can get like a full ensemble.
Jar Jar has pants. Wait,
yeah.
No, yeah, Jar Jar pants.
Let me look up Jar Jar for the 7th time today.
Yeah, right. It's Tuesday. All right, yeah.
Yeah, he's got like I think a scarf would make this outfit like pulled all together. Oh God, he's naked.
Well, yeah, it's the internet, Chief.
Oh no, he's hot.
I know this sounds strange coming from me, but are you sure about that?
I just said bare chest is what I'm going off of.
All right, you're not wrong.
So yeah, so those are the two fawns of our stories.
Yes. Now, both of these stories do take place in 1940s Europe.
Which is a crazy connection.
It really is, yeah. I wonder if maybe that was like a little bit of like a subconscious thing on Del Toro's part.
Well, I could see Del Toro pulling from this because he's definitely getting that fairy tale vibe.
I just kind of want a fairy tale vibe. My Del Toro impression's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Let me start at Strong Bad and work my way down.
Okay.
Homestar, what the fuck are you doing?
All right.
Strong Bad does not say fuck. But boy, would he. If he could.
Nowadays.
Homestar, you sicken me. I need to make a movie with a bunch of strange things in jars. It's very powerful.
I'd like the dragonflies if they could be in the front of the screen, like they were the size of monsters.
I want the movie to be about Bugsy and his adventures. And if you do not let me make the movie be about Bugsy, I will instead make it about some Francoist militia, fascist people who will be ripping out people's tongues and stuff. And
so we will.
That or Bugsy, take your fucking pick. Don't fuck with me. I'm Del Toro.
Another fun point that I saw in the trivia for the Pan's Labyrinth fawn is that in the movie he ages backwards.
Oh,
he goes from very old early on to his youngest self by the end.
Well, the magic gets closer and closer to restoring him.
Yes, so his restoration follows those steps.
Yeah, that's true. In his first scene, I didn't think of that, but in his first scene, he is kind of like staggered
and decrepit. Like you can see him right here.
Almost like he's a tree coming to life. Is how I would contextualize it. Yeah,
and those CSL fans probably get that Treebeard vibe from his first appearance.
Well, Treebeard is kind of a parody of C.S. Lewis in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's him reacting to that.
Yeah, because they were friends.
Yeah, so it's you can see a lot of the. We're all pulling from the same pot here. So what if we swap some of those ingredients in that pot?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Go full-on wife swap with this.
Yeah.
These two stories.
But Faun Swap.
Faun Swap.
Which, I tried to think of a Pawn Stars pun, but that's already a pun on porn stars. So there was no way to do that. Nope, sorry guys. Anyway, the first thought I had here is language barrier.
Oh shit, you're right, he does. The Del Toro Faun does speak Spanish.
No, that's not the part I'm worried about.
No?
I'm worried about Mr. Tumnus not being able to speak Spanish. He's not going to be able to tell Ophelia anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because the Del Toro Faun, the Pan's Labyrinth Faun, is a kind of embodiment of nature. He has a name that only the trees and the mountains can pronounce and that sort of thing.
That's why he's only known as the Faun.
Yeah.
Not Pan.
Right. He's not Pan. He does not have a boner all the time. That would make a horrible movie. That whole aspect of satyrs has really been just wiped clean from pop culture because we all decided collectively, like, this can't be good.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's... So Tumnus can't speak Spanish?
Tumnus can't speak Spanish, but Faun, I think this Faun speaks, like, the Vulgate, you know? Like, the common tongue of the land.
He would speak wherever he is with the Narnia folk.
Yeah.
So why don't we tell that story first, then we'll break down the language barriers next.
Right, okay.
Okay, so...
But wait, now that we brought it up, I do want to mention...
No, go ahead.
So, they speak English in Narnia.
Canonically English?
Yes,
Okay.
canonically English, because the first humans in Narnia who were there at the creation of the world were from England. They were like a cab driver and his wife, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like the ancestors of all the kings and queens of the land.
Oh, time moves differently.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot that aspect of it.
Yes, time moves differently. I think about like 2,500 years pass, whereas only like 50 years pass in Earth time.
Okay. So yeah, no, that tracks then. So that's why they're speaking the Queen's tongue.
Yes.
And
So Tumnus is canonically speaking English and not Spanish, and the only possible connection is that there are some browner people who form like the Arabia analog in Narnia.
Got it.
And Calormen
Mhm.
and stuff. And yeah, no, it's a book written in the 50s by a born-again Christian, so it's not the most forgiving of treatments.
I understood. I mean, everyone up until today in modern fantasy has like an Agrabah.
Yeah.
It's just, it tracks.
You need an Agrabah.
You need an Agrabah.
What's it called in your fictional world that you've built at some point in time? Mine would be called... there's a couple different analogs, but I think mine would be Chaya Jadu.
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've inhabited a Hajil before.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, so, but to this point, which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
With Mr. Tumnus in it.
Got it. So, Ophelia does not understand him.
Ophelia does not understand. I don't feel like that's a problem, though.
Oh, that all he needs to do is like point to pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
She can see how polite Tumnus is.
Yeah. Politeness is a language that transcends the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Tumnus is working for the underworld, which is in his milieu.
Yeah, he's up for that.
I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh goodness," and then they'd be like, "No. We're just called the underworld because we live under the world. We're not bad people." Oh, okay.
This is Mr. Fairy. This is Mr. Fairy too. Yeah, he's got all those buddies. Yeah, and he. I don't think you need to speak Spanish to explain to a child that you need to find a key under a tree.
Yeah.
I think some charades might work that out. And he would be so good at charades.
He would be very good at
He
charades.
loves games and activities.
He is a good boy.
Yeah.
He is a good, very hobbity sort of boy.
He can also just deliver the book, right? I think the book does the heavy lifting.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I wonder if the book is like the MCU Darkhold, and like it just translates your like thoughts into whatever like your language is.
Well, we know it answers like questions and with images.
Yeah, it does.
And stuff like that. So I think that's going to be our Rosetta Stone here.
What if he just shows up with like an umbrella and a package? That's very in his... He's good at that. He can deliver packages like nobody's business.
He delivers packages to children like a Santa man.
Yeah, like a Santa man.
But he's a faun.
He's also better dressed for the Spanish June
Yeah, no, he's got his shirt off.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look as threatening and scary.
No. Very good for that. He does not have fairy friends to help out, though.
Oh, so he's on his own. Got it.
Well, okay, so...
Well, does he have, like, Mr. Beaver and company?
No. They don't all hang out together.
They just, like, they get together every now and then for snacks.
Yeah, like board game nights.
Oh, man. Mr. Beaver is the worst at Twister. and Jenga, too, is no good.
That's a non-starter, no.
Jenga, he eats all the pieces for Jenga.
Yeah.
It's bad stuff.
It's like, I brought a 7-layer dip. Good, I brought Jenga.
Oh. So that's...
So then round 2. All right, she has the key.
Mm-hmm.
And the dress is ruined. I think Mr. Tumnus would take care of the dress. Mr. Tumnus would stick around with her.
Mr. Tumnus would make her a new dress. That's the kind of guy he is.
Mr. Tumnus, I don't know if he could, but he would sure try. But he would just take care of it for her. And then like, he'd be like, oh, goodness gracious, you're filthy. Your mother will be, you filthy.
I think he would, Mr. Tumnus...
Frog vomit. Frogs can't vomit.
They can't.
No.
Are you telling me this movie made some shit up?
I'm so sorry.
I feel like Mr. Tumnus will be up for antics where he hides behind something that conceals his lower half and tries to talk to some of the adults about what happened.
If somebody could explain to him that there's only humans in this world, and so he would look very strange if he didn't do that, I feel like he might understand.
Yes, I think so too. Although he might still be in some kind of... do you think... So is Tumnus in their world?
Okay, wait.
Or does he always have to... do you always have to go to a portal to meet him?
No. You can... Narnians can come to Earth.
Okay.
I think that happens briefly in the Silver Chair.
TSC.
Yeah, TSC as the TikTok teens call it. Yeah, so Mr. Tumnus could step through. Let's assume that the labyrinth is a Narnia portal.
Yes.
That's pretty standard.
I think it's on par with what it already is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's magic rings from Atlantis. One time it's a horn that they blow in Narnia to summon
a door?
No, they summon
the wardrobe?
They summon the protagonists. They summon Peter and Susan and Edmund and Lucy back into Narnia. Because it's been 1,000 years Narnia time and the kingdom is dying and they need the great kings of old.
And think about that like 500 years in.
Yeah. And they're like, oh no, this is when the kings and queens were kids. Like, they grew up fully in Narnia.
Yeah, right. I recall the end of the film.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing to do in between movies.
It really is.
It's not like, it's been 3 years. It's been 1,000 years.
Yeah. I think it's been a year. It's been a year Earth time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aslan says that Peter and Susan can't come anymore because they're old.
We didn't get them for the sequel either.
Oh. Anyway. Aslan is, of course, Santa. Not Santa, who is also in Narnia.
I forgot about him. Which is weird, because Mr. Tumnus is a good Santa analogy.
Is he?
Yeah.
The only presents he ever gets, he drops.
Okay, so maybe he's a bad Santa. He's like a Santa, an elf of sorts, a Santa in training.
He is pretty elfish.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised.
He wants to be a dentist.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm surprised that like the standard fantasy race for like short, kind of hairy homebodies is hobbits and not fauns, considering one of those is copyrighted and viciously protected by the Tolkien estate, and the other is like a public domain, like actual mythological figure that you could use.
I mean, you could read halfling as half I think
maybe like you could if somebody said like, oh, ling is an old English word for goat, I'd be like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Or like the hobbits have some goat blood to them.
Yeah.
No problem. They're hairy enough.
They are.
So
reflavor that in D&D terms.
Second quest with the post key.
Oh yeah. So he's got the key.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia's got the key, and it's like wondrous. Now, wild pitch. But if you'll just see the book there, El Libro. Yes.
El Libro. Oh god, what's this? What's the Spanish for grape?
No tocan. No toque las grapes.
No dos grapes.
La comida y la bebidas no toques. No toque. Nada, princesa.
Yeah, so don't eat the grapes.
Hay un monstruo y voy a comerte si tu toque la comida y la bebida. Adios. Soy Señor Tumnus.
The interactions with the Pale Man. Now, I proposed this in the film when I noticed Doug Jones's gangly performance for both the Pale Man and the Faun.
Mhm.
Is the Pale Man some kind of dark reflection of the Faun?
I don't know. He is in another dimension, which is interesting. And
they're built similar.
Yes, but what is the connection there?
I think that might be it.
Okay.
Yeah, one's got hands on his eye. One has eyes on his hands, and the other one's just.
The other one has eyes in the normal place.
So there's no, but he does have like a blind, like in his first couple appearances when he's the oldest, he's blind in a sense. But they follow different rules and things like that. I don't think there's any connection there. So it's just the regular ass Pale Man in the Tumnus version.
So without the little fairies and stuff. Because Tumnus does not have those.
Oh, Ophelia's in trouble.
What do the fairies do in
Nothing.
the second thing? They mostly just remind her to follow the rules, and she just
ignores them.
And
then two of them get eaten by the Pale Man.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the Pale Man doesn't have these snacks in this version. Maybe instead Tumnus equips her with like snacks.
Oh wait, you're saying that if the Pale Man is a dark reflection of the Faun, then in this he'd be a dark reflection of Mr. Tumnus.
That's what I'm getting at, yes.
Okay. Alright.
Like a pale Tumnus with eyes on his hands.
Okay, I like this method.
Okay.
What if it's just Charles Xavier?
Because
it's the same actor.
He's in a... As soon as she eats the two, all the food like levitates up.
Yeah, which is not something that Charles Xavier does, but okay.
He does that.
No, I don't think he does.
With mind powers.
He does not have telekinesis. He only has telepathy.
Okay.
Just like, Ophelia, you must come to my special school in the woods in New York somewhere.
Well, if it's Professor Xavier instead of the Pale Man, she's screwed. Because he just goes beep boop bop, and she thinks she's a horse.
Yeah, beep boop boop, you are a horse.
Yeah, so...
Estás el caballo.
Tumnus has to equip her with a Magneto helmet.
Yeah. Which Magneto, famous Nazi hunter.
Oh, hang on. It's all coming together here.
The Spanish fascists, not really Nazis, but close.
She has to steal something from a workshop of sorts.
Wait. So Magneto was like 10 during the Holocaust, though, right?
Yep.
Oh, wait.
She
and Kid Magneto can team up. He could get that key so easy.
Well, how do we keep running into this exact perfect period of time of history? Every time we touch a pop culture piece, it lines up perfectly.
Okay, what other 1940s era...
I don't know them off the top of my head.
Band of Brothers. I don't know anything about that except the joke that all dads appreciate it. You think if you become a dad, like, the minute your wife goes into labor, you're just like, I just gotta see some brothers form a band.
No, this is exactly what happens.
They have a bond. And they have to kill Nazis.
All right, but yeah, that's so yeah. She needs to team up with Kid Magneto to solve that nonsense. I feel like Magneto's powers would come in handy a lot for her in that film.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of blade wielding and swirling.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of bullets and ammunition that could be stopped.
Magneto would absolutely prick that baby. Magneto would prick that baby.
That is a problem.
Magneto would prick that baby, and then
unless the dagger is some kind of non metallic thing, which I think might be possible.
Well, what?
It could be
looks,
totally. Well,
It looks silver.
it's not iron.
Well, I don't think it has to be iron. I think it just has to be metal.
Well, the fawn wields it, so it can't be cold iron.
If assuming it's a fae,
Yes,
which
there's a lot of rules that apply there. So, I guess we're kind of getting lost in the weeds here, in the labyrinth here.
yeah.
The third thing is the test of innocence, which I do not. I'd love to see the scene of Tumnus telling Ophelia what to do.
Wait. Okay. So she ate the grapes.
She ate the grapes.
She ate the grapes. She got out of there. Let's say.
Mm-hmm. And she's got her half-brother infants with her.
Yeah, and then Mr. Tumnus is all like, you should not have done that. But I'm going to go ahead and give you another chance.
Yeah, he's a go-getter.
Yeah, I think he's a little more forgiving for that. He knows a thing or two about, getting a second chance, and also a thing or two about betraying your family because of some tasty snacks.
Right. And I think he would also be similarly helpful with the mandrake recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he won't be as weird about it.
I don't know if he might know somebody, or maybe he might pray to Aslan. I think that's that's the play. Or he would get the White Witch to help.
So he would get the White Witch to give her the...
It depends on his stage of, redemption from his abusive relationship with his sovereign.
Well, I gotta say, the mandrake situation seems like the same, a very pro-con thing like the witch would offer.
Yeah.
Yes, this will help her, but it'll also hurt her.
Yes.
Which it does in the film.
Ooh, and actually the White Witch showing up? The White Witch showing up on Earth is extremely bad.
That sounds very terrible.
She's a world hopper. She's not native to Narnia.
Okay. I wonder if she ever leaves Narnia for a weekend to miss out on 100 years.
I don't think she can do that. But if she could, she would definitely try and conquer Earth. She tried that at first before she became the White Witch when she was just Jadis in Magician's Nephew, but then,
TMN.
Yeah, TMN, as the kids call it. Okay, let's run through all of them. THAHB.
The horse and the boy?
The horse and his boy, yeah.
Okay.
That's correct. Did you just guess that?
I've heard it before, but that was mostly a guess.
Okay, very good. TLB, The Last Battle.
Yeah.
VOTDT. The
awesome dudes that swipe.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader. None of those letters were the same.
I missed the V. All right, let's get back to task here.
Yeah. Okay. So, test of innocence. I don't think Mr. Tumnus could effectively sell the thing of okay, very good. Now I'm totally gonna stab a baby.
She'd see right through his shit.
Definitely gonna do it. So look out, young señorita.
Yeah, she's like, all right, come on. Really, what's going on here?
Okay, look, it was a test. You passed. Good job. Let's go to hell where you're queen now.
And I think it'd be very uncomfortable in hell, too.
And then she meets Zagreus.
Ophelia, I've been looking for you.
That's not what Zagreus sounds like. Ophelia, hello. I'm looking for you. Welcome. You are home. You can help me with my dad problems. Let me see that dagger.
I gotta...
Yeah, Skelly, what does this do? Ah, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my first video game reference.
Congratulations.
I did it.
You have.
I succeeded.
So, let's talk about the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
In Narnia.
Yeah. So it works, basically.
I think it's going to work out. Yeah. Tumnus is going to look very awkward when he's in the throne room at the end. He's like, know. You did it, princess.
I don't know.
I think he'd be upset.
The fawn in the original story looks very out of place in the throne room because it's all gold and reds and stuff, and then there's just this nature creature.
Mm-hmm. So maybe his colors might match better.
Yeah.
I think he'd be happy.
Yeah.
All right.
He would look good in a little official ambassador. Maybe it's just
vest.
No, not even a vest. It's just just a collar and a tie. Just a collar and a little bow tie, like a valet.
I think that's a good look for him.
Yeah.
All right. The Faun in the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe."
Mm-hmm.
So I think Lucy has to not just fucking jet as soon as she sees this 7-foot-tall nature man.
Oh my god.
Holding up like a bunch of gifts, right, and a parasol. Yeah. Well, he doesn't have those things, right?
Yeah, Dave.
No, my fairies. They will.
He opens up his little briefcase. A bunch of bugs fly out.
Yeah,
and there's Narnia, so they can talk. And it's just like, no, listen. Lucy, trust me, he's cool. Okay, just hang out. He's cool. Trust me, he's cool. And then she'll just like freak out more and leave.
Yeah. It'd be tough to convince her there. He doesn't have any friends.
Siempre vierno, pero nunca es Navidad.
Yeah, he can't like go over to them like, this is my buddy Mr. Beaver. He'll take care of you.
Es mi amigo, Señor Beaver. It's funnier if I just say things in a gruff Spanish voice.
It's a good principle. So the problem with that setup is that so he's also been tasked by the White Witch. And I feel like he's...
Is he more powerful than the White Witch? Maybe this is over before it begins.
You think that the White Witch shows up and it tasks him to do this because of a vow he made?
I think he shows up and he might be stronger than the White Witch is strong.
I don't know. How strong is the Faun in the story? Because he never does... Let me put it this way. He doesn't do anything. He just tells her, Ophelia, where to find shit, and he gives her a recipe.
He has a very old name.
Yes. He's ancient, for sure. Maybe he has more connections than I'm giving him credit for. Maybe in a realm like Narnia, he has... well, like you said, what's the Treebeard analogy
In Narnia?
in Narnia? Is there one?
I don't know. Oh, Dionysus is in, or Bacchus or something. Or like the Roman and Greek gods are in Narnia also.
This feels like some
so Zagreus can show up again.
It feels like some Stephen King Dark Tower nonsense. Where he's just going around and it's like, oh yeah, and C.S. Lewis is there too.
Yeah,
He's just hanging out.
Maybe, I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Throwing back drinks with the gunslinger.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, we're building a cinematic universe here, a cinematic phoniverse.
There's ferret men, there's blades here too.
The ferret men are otter men, and they're in the Space Trilogy, which is also by C.S. Lewis. And might be canon to Chronicles of Narnia. I'm not sure if there's any explicit contradiction there.
I've read some fantasy series, and what I hear from the Dark Tower is always nonsense. It's always like, oh yeah, and then the bee people are there. And they only matter for these two books, and they're never mentioned again.
That's great.
And
by bee people, do you mean like humanoid bees, or do you mean like beekeepers?
I feel like humanoid bees.
Okay.
But it's like, it's weirder creatures than that. It's like, oh, it's the goo ones, and this one's like the same alien thing that it is. It's just, and
it's a turtle.
It's whatever.
And they have to do a cocaine sex orgy to fix the turtle.
Yeah. But
Stephen King.
Literally in later books, like, the characters meet Stephen King in person.
Of course, yeah.
And it's about how they interfered with his life and his car accident thing that actually happened to him.
That's fucked up.
It's really...
That's really
really
cool.
crazy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I've come on the opposite side of this. So, anyway, I think if the Greek gods and stuff, they kind of all bend the knee to Aslan because he is Jesus, essentially. He is Jesus. He is an incarnation of Christ, the second person of the Blessed Trinity.
And
but he's a lion. And
I think this Narnia, of course, is stocked to the brim with magic.
Yeah.
That was the Faun's weakness. That's where he was, just giving her tasks and stuff like that.
You're right. No, so he would probably have like some nature command.
Absolutely. He might be at his far stronger than he was ever in the film.
No, yeah, Aslan would show up and be like, "You, Faun, you're really cool. Be my friend." And you'd be like, or Aslan would probably say something like, "Hola, yo soy un Leo." te quiero, te gusto.
Tu me amigos.
See. There you go. Aslan's got like a little like Spanish language for dummy lions. For dummy lion Jesuses.
Yeah, that's to communicate. And I think, yeah, the Faun's like living his best life in Narnia, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's really just troubled.
Yeah, no, the Faun's loving it. I feel like the Faun he might be able to like summon forth like shit from the earth, like vines and stuff to fight the White Witch.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be like poison ivy, but like wilder. Maybe he would speak native Charnish to her, or whatever the language is in Charn where she's from.
Because he has just those wonderful abilities.
Yeah, because he's tied to the land.
Mm-hmm.
He gets that power from the land, is where it's from. That's what he is.
Yeah, so, you know, if the kids show up, he's just going to be like, hey, things are cool here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He can speak English.
Yeah.
We established that ages ago. Like, several X-Men tie-ins ago. Multiple X-Men tie-ins ago, actually.
3 Marvel references ago.
Oh, God. And then Wolverine shows up.
Mm.
And
he's like, what's up, bub? I'm my true height here.
Yeah. Be you a dwarf? Hey, shut up. Fuck you. Stab.
Yeah, Wolverine.
That's what Wolverine does.
Okay.
He says fuck you and stabs. So,
I think it's a pretty efficient system.
yeah, a Faun Swap. I think the stories are different, but workable both ways.
Yeah. There's a little less of a story in the final version of the Narnia one.
Well, we started at like 40 minutes in.
Yeah. It's also, the story would just be a different one.
Yeah.
It'd be the story of the Faun's wonderful adventures.
Yeah, it'd be the story of the Faun having a chill time and hanging out with some kids that are being dope.
Yeah, it's the Faun just kicking, like, in a D&D quest that's a way lower level than he needs.
Yeah.
Alright, so, I wanted to quick do one of our classic games, Therapist, Therapy Animal, and Needs Therapy, with our 2 Fauns here.
Okay.
Because, Mr. Tumnus, do you think he's a good therapist? Because I don't know if he has the best advice.
No, I don't think he's got the self-actualization pre-character development.
Mm.
He does function as an advisor later on, but
and he doesn't necessarily need therapy, though. He doesn't have too many problems of his own.
he seems a little nervous and stuff, but like
Maybe he's insecure.
I think he's a very good therapy animal.
Yeah, he's got that. I think the word is companionship.
Yeah, he's a very good companion. He's got like tea and trumpets or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's a what's it called, like a de-stress event all on his own.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I would hang out at Mr. Tumnus's little house before I would hang out at most places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the definition of cozy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we want from a therapy animal.
Yeah.
Okay, not like a dog with a job, but like the puppies that you play with, right?
Hold on, I need to write down that idea immediately.
Disney already did it.
That's dog with a blog, which does not rhyme in my accent, as I've been severely mocked for. But okay, so dog with a job, sell for money. All right, good. That's right next to my Totally Spies Kim Possible crossover fanfiction.
It's pretty good.
That's almost too easy, but I make it work.
Yeah. So the other one is that the Faun from Pan's Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's tough to place in these categories. He's not a good therapist.
He needs therapy.
Does he though? He's very actualized.
He is, but like he is. I mean, he's kind of dying because there's not a lot of magic in the world. 2 of his pets died.
That's true. He has also put a lot of the weight of the world on his shoulders.
He really has.
Yeah. And he gives himself a hard time. He gives Ophelia a hard time.
He does.
When she messes up.
He stresses out a child like nobody's business. And also, he doesn't punch a Nazi if given the chance. Can you imagine how fucking scared Captain Vidal would have been of the Faun?
Yeah, like I said,
He would have like tried to shoot him, and like it just wouldn't have worked.
When we were watching it, I said my one wish is that Captain Vidal and the Faun end up in a scene together, both with the guns, like it's a Western shootout.
Like the fawn just like the fairy, one of the fairies just hands the fawn a gun.
Mm-hmm. You know, he's got issues. If anything, he's just overworked.
Well, like Captain Vidal just like shoots him through, and then like it looks like he dies, but then like the vines just come and like heal his chest, and then like he stands up and it's like, "Fuck, you are a god," and then he just slashes his face off.
Yeah,
That's what it is. If you want to see that happen, watch The Shape of Water.
You were right.
Yeah.
So our second Del Toro outing, I think, was our third Del Toro outing. It was, I think, a roaring success.
Yeah, what was the second?
Blade 2.
Oh, right. We did do that.
Yeah, we're going through the great man's work, and eventually we'll do PR, right?
Eventually we will do Parks and Recreation, Guillermo del Toro's most fantastic piece of art. Yes.
Right.
So I think it is about time to oh man, can we do like a lightning quick Squatch-Lorette?
Yes.
Tumnus, yes. Fawn, I feel like no.
So for Squatch-Lorette, you'd say that the Tumnus gets a rose?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the qualities of your usual partners.
In what way?
Interest. He doesn't seem to wield a lot of power
Okay, that's fair.
or influence. And he's very, very self-conscious.
I'm in a pretty vulnerable place today.
Okay, I will not shoot him down.
All right, fair.
So Tumnus gets a
You
rose.
can't shoot down the fawns, or else they'll slash out your throat like Shape of Water, man.
But you're not into the big fawn.
No, because he doesn't really seem to have. He's creepy, but he doesn't seem to have power about it. He just seems creepy.
Yeah, you don't want him, like, coming into your room unasked for.
Yeah, no.
So okay, Tumnus gets a rose. We'll see you later in our Squatch-Lorette finals. How many do we have? Because I think we're getting close.
I have no idea, but I'll tell you this though. What episode is this?
This is episode 56.
So in 13 episodes.
It's going to be the famous episode 70. Wait, it's going to be I got it.
That took too long. That took too long.
All right, let's go to the final rating place.
All right,
where we put these fawns to rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's
such a dark segment to close the show on.
Well, we close the book on them.
Yeah.
On their life.
We close the magic book full of secrets and sometimes visual metaphors for abortion.
Why don't you go first this time?
Visual metaphors for stillbirth. So, death and childbirth. What happened in the movie? What happened in the movie? All right, so
how would you rank these two monsters?
All right, what I like about the Pan's Labyrinth fawn is that he is ancient. He is profoundly ancient as a character trait.
Which I love for a monster.
Yeah.
Not too many new monsters that I'm like, yeah, fresh.
And the god Pan, his origins are pretty obscure, like, historically. Like, the cult of Pan, how that grew, how he became a part of that pantheon. So, I refuse. Pantheon is also my other fanfic. It's pairing the Greek god with a Game of Thrones character. So, has anyone written that for the?
Okay, but you like the way that those combo off each other.
What I like about him is that he's ancient as a character trait. And what I like about him is that he is kind of primordial as a deity. He is like, if you're a caveman, that's the first god you come up with is, what if part goat? Fucking crazy, right? Anyway.
Big, green.
This rock make fire. What the fuck? Crazy world we live in. Goat man.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, just because I love his vibe so much as a monster and as a function in the story, 8 out of 10.
That's pretty good. He doesn't. I love the fawn for all those reasons you listed. I think he's got some very. His aesthetic is second to none,
mm-hmm.
and his function in the story is very good. It's just what he wields in terms of what you see from him powers wise, taskmaster way. He's kind of short. I've seen him. He's surprisingly human, which is pretty good in a monster. I'm gonna give him a 7.5.
All right, cool.
Yeah. As for Mr. Tumnus,
yeah,
he's adorkable.
He's adorable is the word I was looking for. Yes.
Yeah, he's innocent and soft.
10 out of 10.
Monster-wise, he's not super scary, but I'm going to give him the exact same rating, 7.5.
I'm gonna give him 10 out of 10 because he is nice but also damaged.
Yes, his loyalties are all over the place, and he can be fixed. I hear you.
Man. Anyway,
Half man,
half goat,
all
cop.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of Finding Monster Rights. You can find us on Twitter at Monster Right Pod, and share with us your favorites. Faun.
Share with us your favorite fawn.
Yeah, well, of these two or more.
Which one do you fawn over?
Next time, we're going to get into all kinds of mischief.
Es cierto, mi primo.
C.
Mischivio. Not how you say mischief. Do not know how to say mischief. Gonna go with mischivio.
C.